Welcome to another speed build. Today we are doing a spring-themed Craftsman style house. It was originally built in the world of Copperdale on the Little Falls Nook lot. And Copperdale is one of my favorite worlds to build in. I really like Copperdale and Brindleton Bay and San Sequoia. So you're probably going to notice that there are a lot of builds from there. But I'm also, of course, starting my series of doing the base game plus one pack or kit. So that's helping me to kind of branch out to different worlds. But today I'm building a Craftsman, like I said, in Copperdale. So I wanted to do something spring themed, very pastel colors on the inside and just light and happy, and I don't know, I'm ready for spring. Although where I live we don't have bad winters. It's pretty mild. It usually doesn't drop below 30 degrees Fahrenheit at the most, and if it does, it's only cold for like maybe a day or two, so it's not bad. But still, like, I'm ready. And you know, we've been in the 90s here for the last couple weeks, so 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're there. You know, we're gearing up for our 100 degree Fahrenheit temperatures in the summer. So for this one, I did a few things that I don't normally do. Like, I raised the platform on the porch because I wanted to give it more trim around the porch out there on the outside. And I did a different trim on the two gabled roofs on the front to add more. I just wanted more trim around the front because you would see more trim than what was available on a Craftsman. So by doing that, it kind of accounted for that. Now, welcome to the chaos section of the build, which is where I go through the debug menu and I pull out all kinds of stuff that I'm interested in maybe using and stack it all around on the lot and then just throw it around wherever I need to. And this was in the whole debug mission for this one was inspired by the fact that I knew I needed to have some brick pillars out there to kind of help with the porch area, because you can't really do that with the railings. And I wanted to once again do the landscaping where it fits into the rest of the world. So to do that, I would need to go into the debug catalog and pull out items that are in the landscaping around the rest of the world. So what I typically do is I go in on the landscaping, I go in and I'll pull out landscaping objects and I'll just stack them on top of each other, just make a big stack of them. And then that way I can just pull from that stack and pull them out one by one and spread them out around the lot. And that is what works best for me when I'm building, and as fast as for me, because when you play on console, as far as the debug menu goes, you can't just go, you can't just type in debug and it comes up. You have to scroll down through everything to get down to the debug stuff, which is all at the end of the list. So there's another tip for console players. If you're looking for the debug items, do your search, leave your search bar empty after you've typed in your cheats to bring up the debug stuff. Do your search and leave the search bar empty over in the build and buy section, and it will pull up the debug items, but they're usually all at the bottom after it lists everything else that you have that you can purchase in the game, like build and buy stuff that you can purchase in the game. So like I play on PS5, so what I'll do a lot of times is once I bring up the menu that lists absolutely everything that I have in the game, I will actually scroll upwards, which will, because it makes a loop, it'll take you back around down to the bottom. So that way I can scroll up instead of scrolling down, and it starts me off with all those debug items down there at the bottom. So that's basically why I like to pull out everything that I think I might use from the debug menu, at least on the outside, all at one time, and then kind of clean it up. And a lot of times I cut that out because it is very chaotic, and I make quick movements around the screen as far as when I speed it up. So a lot of times that gets cut out, but I left it in just for the sake of maybe, you know, maybe somebody else can benefit from that, you know, by doing it that way. Maybe it makes it a little bit easier. This is my attempt in the foyer at building a tree, what's it called? Oh my gosh. Here we go. It wouldn't be a pixie dusted speed build if I didn't forget what I'm trying to say. The thing that you have in a mudroom where you hang your coats. Anyway, I built one because I didn't like the ones that were available in the game. I'm starting to get bored with those, so I built that. My thought with this house, though, is that yes, it is a Craftsman style house, which were very popular in the 1920s and 1930s. But I feel like the Sims that live here bought this house, and either they updated it and renovated it on the inside, or it was already that way when they bought it. And whoever did update and renovate this house wanted to keep a lot of the architectural details that are common in a Craftsman house on the inside, like the platforms going into the different rooms and built-ins. Built-ins are a big feature of Craftsman style houses. Doorways with transom windows on top are also a common feature. Wainscoting is a common feature. Also board and batten is a common feature in Craftsman style houses. So I tried to continue with the theme of having some architectural details in here that would be common that you would see in a Craftsman style house, like the built-ins around the fireplace, which I used one of the new stone shelves from the Sleek Bathrooms kit to help make those shelves for the huge, weird candle collection that's in there in the living room. And then the built-ins in the dining room. I wanted to build in the hutches because I think they look better that way anyway, but that would definitely be a feature that you would see. Now this kitchen doesn't really keep any architectural details that are common in a Craftsman house. This would be like a completely renovated kitchen. And I really do like the way the kitchen turned out. This is the first black and white kitchen I've done in a long time. And I think it turned out really pretty. And I wanted to use my original thought for that structure over top the window there, over top of the sink, was that I wanted to try to figure out some way to build that to make that the vent hood for the stove, but I could never quite figure anything out. And I had moved it over top of the sink area just to get it out of the way for the moment, and I liked it there, so that's where it stayed. Also, if you'll notice, under the sink, under that window, the counters there, I merged one of the, I think it was either a left end piece or a right end piece on the bottom counters into the middle there of the run of counters, because I wanted to kind of offset the counter where the sink was so that I could get that sink centered underneath the window. So I think that turned out really cute. This was my first attempt at using the new items from the new Sleek Bathrooms kit. Well, it's not new now. It's been out for a few weeks now. And the newest ones we just got were the kitchen clutter kit and the I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically a garage kit, and that's what everybody else is saying, so that's what I'm going to call it probably from now on, is the garage kit. But I really liked the way this bathroom turned out. It turned out so soft and neutral, and I felt like you needed a break from all of the heavy patterns and colors that have been going on in the rest of the house. So I really do like the way that bathroom turned out. And of course, everything in there is functional. The kitchen is still functional, even though I've got that one counter merged beside the sink. Everything has been play tested, as always. And of course, since I play on console, I can guarantee you there's no CC. I don't even download the artwork off the gallery that other people have uploaded. I could, but I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't include it in my builds that I upload on the gallery, simply because sometimes when you have that in there, it does mark it as having CC, so that won't be there. But the bedroom, I struggled with what to do behind the bed, so I ended up with like weird graphics on the wall behind the bed. But I don't know, I think it's turned out kind of cute. It's something that I would normally do in a nursery. I've done that before, where I put those kind of like those peel and stick wall stickers on the wall in like a nursery, and I really like the way it looked here. I've never done it in a bedroom that's meant to be for an adult. Also, the bedroom to the right of this bathroom that we did with the Murphy Bed of Doom, it was decorated as like a guest room, meant to be a guest room. And then the primary bathroom, I had fun playing more with the sleek bathrooms kits items in here. It turned out okay, but I had like grand plans for like a really cool bathroom build, and once I got to this area, I had run out of room. I guess that's what I get for saving this bathroom for last, but I still think it turned out kind of pretty. The only thing I don't like about this house, and full disclaimer, I was too lazy to go back and fix it. There are areas of this house that don't have ceiling. They have roof, and they look okay when you're playing it. You don't notice unless you're trying to go in and take screenshots or do some type of video recording. You don't really notice that there's not ceiling there, but I know that does bother some people. So if it does bother you anywhere that there's a platform, you're probably gonna have to go in and add a ceiling and fix that part. But I don't know, I was just too lazy to fix it, kind of like in my 1970 split level, where I didn't go back in and fix platforms. But now that it's like fresh in my mind again, anytime I'm using platforms from now on, I'm gonna remember, hey, check the ceiling to make sure there's a ceiling. So anyway, there's that. But thank you again so very much for joining me for this video. I think it turned out really cute, a happy little springtime house. Halfway to Halloween did sneak up on me this year, and I will be doing a halfway to Halloween build, but it will be posted next week, so it's only going to be like about a week late. Not too bad. And it's not really even specifically like Halloween themed. Spoilers for the next video, it's going to be base game and vampires only. So it's kind of a halfway to Halloween theme. So come back next week for that one. I'll see you then. If you want to download this off the gallery, my user ID is pyxiedusted. Thank you so very much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.